What if the key to managing midlife stress, anxiety, and overwhelm wasn't so much about calming the brain as it was about parenting the brain? Welcome to your daily hit of grace and grit, your quick dose of inspiration to kickstart your day. This show is proudly sponsored by Rumble and Rise. To find out more about joining Rumble and Rise, head on over to graceandgrit.com/ready to rumble. I'm Courtney Townley, and here is today's hit. Here's what's happening in your brain right now. Your amygdala, which is this small almond-shaped part of your brain, the part of your brain responsible for detecting threats, is working overtime. It is scanning for danger, sounding alarms, and hijacking your rational thinking at every opportunity. And let's be honest, there's a lot of opportunity. Meanwhile, your prefrontal cortex, many people think of this as your executive center, the CEO of your brain, responsible for decision-making, emotional regulation, and long-term planning, is trying to stay in control. But in midlife, this balance gets a little disrupted or very disrupted. Declining estrogen affects both structures, both the amygdala and the prefrontal cortex. Your amygdala becomes more reactive, more sensitive to stress. Meanwhile, your prefrontal cortex has a harder time regulating that reactivity. The result is that you feel more anxious, more irritable, more emotionally volatile, even when nothing is objectively wrong. This isn't weakness. This is neurobiology and your endocrine system. And once you understand it, you can work with it instead of against it. So I like to think of the amygdala as a toddler. It's not rational. It does not understand nuance. It doesn't understand that every stressor is not threatening your life. All your amygdala knows is threat or safety. And when it perceives threat, which is pretty much anything that's uncomfortable, so that could be a critical email, a packed calendar, it could be something really stressful, like some kind of familial challenge, your amygdala throws a tantrum. Your heart races, your thoughts start to spiral, your body floods with cortisol. And your prefrontal cortex is the parent. It is calm, rational, and capable of perspective. But the problem is, when the amygdala is in full meltdown mode, the prefrontal cortex kind of goes offline. You literally cannot think clearly. You can't access logic or long-term thinking. You're purely in survival mode. Because your amygdala has convinced your body that now it's time to fight or run. So how do you parent your brain? Well, I would say you parent your brain the same way that you would parent an overwhelmed child, with presence, with validation, and gentle redirection. So let's walk through this. Step 1 is we have to notice the alarm. When you feel anxiety rising, name it. Okay, my amygdala is activating right now. This simple act of labeling engages your prefrontal cortex and creates distance from the emotion. You are not the anxiety. You are the one observing the anxiety. Step 2, validate the feeling. Don't dismiss it or suppress it. Your amygdala is doing its job. It was designed to scan for threats. It's trying to protect you. So you could say something to yourself like, this feels scary and that makes sense. My brain thinks there's a threat. So maybe this is public speaking for you. You know you're not going to die, but it is uncomfortable and your amygdala is telling you that you just might die. So your prefrontal cortex comes to the rescue to remind you that you're just challenging yourself, but you are not in danger of death. So step 3, of course, is we have to engage our prefrontal cortex. ask ourselves in the moment that we're feeling the threat or the discomfort, what is actually true right now? Am I in real danger, or is this a perceived threat? This question really quickly shifts you from reactive to reflective, and it brings you back into your rational brain. And of course, finally, step 4, give yourself some somatic intervention. Your amygdala responds to body signals. So try taking a slow, deep breath. Put your hand on your heart. Get outside and look at the trees or listen for birds. Go for a walk. These actions signal safety to your nervous system and help your prefrontal cortex to regain control of the situation. And there's a lot of research to back this up, right? This isn't just my opinion. There's a lot of studies that show that mindfulness practices, which engage the prefrontal cortex, actually shrink the amygdala over time. So regular meditation or mindfulness work reduces its reactivity and strengthens your brain's ability to regulate emotion. But you don't need to meditate for hours. That's the good news. Even 2 minutes of intentional breathing when you're stressed activates your prefrontal cortex and calms your amygdala. It's like putting your hand on the shoulder of that panicking toddler and saying, I got you. We're okay. We're going to work through this. So here's the powerful shift. You don't have to eliminate stress or anxiety from your life, but you do need to stop letting your amygdala run the show. You are not your fear. You are the wise, capable adult brain who can guide yourself through the fear. So the next time you feel the surge of overwhelm or the spiral of worry or the flash of irritation, remember the power is in the pause. Pause long enough to notice, to name, to validate, to redirect. Parent your brain with the same compassion you would offer someone you love. Your amygdala is not the enemy. It is always for you. It is trying to protect you. It's just a scared part of you that needs reassurance. And your prefrontal cortex, it's the steady, loving guide who can provide it. That's the work. That's the practice. That is a very potent way to calm the chaos of midlife. If this stirred something inside of you, imagine what a whole book of clarity and courage could ignite. The Consistency Code, A Midlife Woman's Guide to Deep Health and Happiness, goes even deeper into the mindset and practices that create real, meaningful change at midlife. Grab your copy today over at theconsistencycode.com and keep the momentum alive.